Welcome to the Flea Flicker Betting podcast. My name is Jack Wilson, and this year, to start the 2021 NFL season, we have a brand new team assembled to take on plenty of winners throughout the season. I'm joined by Tim. Tim, how are you doing? You all right?
All right, mate, we're all good, yeah. We're looking forward to Dallas getting spanked in a couple of hours time. But yeah, looking forward to the season. With loads of money and beat the bookies. Hopefully get that edge first couple of weeks before they put themselves right.
Always beating the bucket is the main aim. I'm joined by a reliable face on the podcast, Adam from Touchdown Tips. Adam, how are you doing? You all right, mate?
Really good, mate. Yeah, obviously it's been a long time off and it's going to be a busy 4 or 5 months, but just doing my first preview this week felt really good getting back into it. And yeah, I know I'm going to be non-stop, but it's all worth it.
Do you know what, Adam? Do you know what? For a split second now, I thought you had a Denver Broncos cap on.
No, Bengals on the brain.
Yeah.
No, this is a Joe Goodbury special.
I genuinely, when I looked at it then, thought it was a Denver cap as well.
Yeah.
And we are also joined by Jack T. Jack, how are you doing? You all right?
I'm good now. Really looking forward to the NFL season starting and the Dolphins going the whole way this year.
Is this year their year then, I take it? You thinking?
I think so, yeah, definitely. No doubt in my mind.
Right then, to start off, we will have a look at this evening's game between the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and the Dallas Cowboys. Last time I had a look, Tim, you can just double check this, but they are 9.5 point favourites now, Tampa Bay, and points is 51 or 51.5.
52 now, apparently.
52.
Points, yeah, getting fancy the unders on that. Yeah, like obviously Bucks were 7.5 point favourites start of the week. It's obviously going up a little bit. I mean, I've just been banging a Dallas fan, as you can see by my very worn T-shirt. I just don't give us a hope in hell's chance. Like taking minus 13.5. I'm taking all the good kind of touchdown lines, and I'm not surprised to see it go 9.5. Like we're just going to get absolutely spanked. I know Zach Martin's missing. It's not the greatest of deals being the interior line, but yeah, that defense on the Buccaneers is just Dak's going to have rabbit in headlight syndrome, I think, to start with, and it's just going to be too much to try and repair. I know the first 4 or 5 games last year he was used to coming back from 20-point deficits, but Tom Brady's just going to pass all over that defense, and yeah, we're not going to have a chance. So, yeah,
did I read correctly on your preview, Adam, that they've brought all 22 starters back? Did I read that correctly?
I believe so. They definitely did on the offense, and I'm pretty sure there was none of the important ones left on defense. So yeah, that's a heck of an achievement.
Yes. They also drafted, didn't they, Joe Tyron, was it? The outside linebacker pass rusher to go along with JPP and Shaq Barrett. So it's just scary when you think about it. It's just how long can Tom Brady keep going for? Can he keep going for this year and beyond? Jack, any thoughts on this game?
I seen it was minus 6.5 for the Bucks there about a week ago, and I was tempted then, but it's gone up to 9.5. It's just that extra. Once it goes over the touchdown, it's a completely different bet. So I might do 1 or 2 anytime touchdown score bets, but so far nothing's really jumping out at me.
Adam, anything from you on this one?
No, I don't mind Dak throwing an interception at 4 to 5. Obviously, he's going to be under pressure. He's had the shoulder sprain in training. He's not had any real preseason game. So I think he's going to be rushing and probably pushing it a bit. The run game probably won't be that good with the Bucs having the best run D in the league last year. So he may be trying to push it a little. And I've gone for a homer pick. I say homer, Gio Bernard, 9-2 for him to score anytime. He'll be the pass catching back. Brady really likes him. So I'd imagine he'll get a few receptions tonight.
It'll be over by halftime as well, so they just play the scrubs.
To say you're a Cowboys fan, Tim, you really are not optimistic about tonight, are you?
There's a difference between being a Dallas Cowboys fan and being a realistic Dallas Cowboys fan. At least I know. At least I can look at a sheet of paper and think, Jesus Christ, we're in for a thumping here.
Right then, we will move on to our best anti-post bets of the year. Basically what we're going to do several things. We're going to go through our best handicap bet of the week and the best total points, best anytime touchdown scorer, and the best player prop bet of the week. We'll start off with the best anti-post bet, which is a season-long bet. In case you didn't know, it can be anything ranging from MVP to defensive player of the year to win totals to anything. We'll start with you, Tim. What is your best anti-post bet of the 2021 season?
Yeah, there's two really to flip up for me. Like from a price standpoint, I quite like Cleveland Browns each way for the Super Bowl. I think it's their year. I know you've got a conference where you've got Kansas City and Baltimore, and again you're asking for your bet to go down to Swanee. But I just think last year they learned a lot, kind of like the Bills did last year when they lost and when they got smashed by, well, they beat, was it Houston, and then the year, last year they kind of exercise those guys a little bit. I think there's kind of a little bit there with Cleveland. I think they've kind of know that they deserve to be there. I think they've got faith in the coach, and I think price wise, I know they were hyped to the high hills last season and kind of disappointed, which is why you're getting a bit of a buffer this year with an increased price. I think that they'll outrun their odds, and then just division wise, I think value Washington football team to win the NFC East. I know everyone. I think Adam's going to scream at me, but yeah, I just think again, I don't know what the prices were they were prior to this game, but I think again with the Dallas loss tonight, obviously Washington are going to come in a little bit. So even from that standpoint, getting on Washington early doors. I know they've got the Chargers week 1, but Dallas have Chargers week 2 anyway. But yeah, anything. I think it was around the 2-1 mark early in the off season, which I thought was crazy prices. They should be the way everyone's portraying the division as being neck and neck, or two Dallas and Washington, then a cut off to New York Giants and Philadelphia. I think Washington should have been a shorter price than what they were at the time. I think they're probably around 13-8 now, which is probably about right.
I don't think, I think I'm correct in saying this, it's been 7 years or 6 years since whoever won the NFC East won it the next year. So there's been a different winner.
Longer than that.
It's more than
Longer than that, yeah.
It's over a decade now, I think.
15 years, I think.
Wow, there you go. So I'm cutting myself short on that one. But yeah, so Tim, you definitely think we're going to break that curse? Not give Dallas a chance at all to overdo them?
Oh, you got a chance. I think Dallas's middle part of the schedule is very easy indeed, and like I say, but the thing is, once if you go 0-2 first 2 games against Tampa Bay and the Chargers, go 0-2 there, then you're always chasing them. That's where mistakes start to get made, and people kind of chirp on at each other and get on each other's back, and it's just not a great. Again, 0-2 is not great, but yeah, if we come out 1-1, and I think the big game will be the Patriots just before the bye. If we can come out of that game with a 500 record, then okay. But yeah, I think Washington, whilst I said a lot last year, they shouldn't have won that division to enable them to get a really good quarterback this year. Ryan Fitzpatrick's still average, so he'll get there. But yeah, to win the division, I don't think they'll go much further. But that defense is just could come down to the head-to-head games between them and Dallas, and prefer that defense.
Right then, I'll go on to my anti-post bet for the year, and I really like Carson Wentz to be comeback player of the year. I think he got a lot of stick down in Philadelphia, and you showed when he was really on top of his game, he couldn't be one of the best in the league, like when he won MVP. Did he win MVP that year? Did he not win MVP that year? No. That was the one where he got injured, didn't he, against the Rams, yeah. So he had an MVP caliber year that year, and I think he's back now with some sort of a good offensive line. I think that offensive line in Indy can protect him and give him the space that he needs to not only create plays, but when he moves out of the pocket, he can create plays himself. I got him at 14-1. He's now 10-1. I won on Alex Smith last year, and Alex Smith at 14-1. This is one I target every year. I think if you can see a story developing, the bookies, especially over here, are very slow to react, and you can back it throughout the season as well. So this is definitely a market to keep your eye on throughout the year, because if Dak Prescott, who I think is the favourite for this, starts having an odd year, a bad year, and another person is going to come into that fold, but their odds might not reflect the change until a couple of weeks after. So mine is Carson Wentz, comeback player of the year, 10-1.
Yeah, they want it.
Right then, Adam, we'll move on to yours, your best anti-post bet of the year.
Yeah, just had a quick look. I had a 33-1 thing, but it's not exactly best. It's just more interesting. Houston Texans first overall pick, Derrick Henry, most rush yards. Comeback player of the year, Dak, is 33-1. Over on Sky Bet, which I thought wasn't terrible. We all think that the Texans are going to be terrible. Derrick Henry should probably win that one, and I think Dak wins comeback, providing he doesn't do anything stupid. So 33-1 for that one. But if you want a more sensible one, the Ravens and the Browns to finish top 2. Is 8-11, top 2 in the AFC North. Obviously, the Bengals aren't going to be up there, and the Steelers are probably going to be worse this year. So I think those two. Pardon?
You mean the Browns? You said the Rams.
I thought I said Ravens and Browns.
I thought you said Browns.
Okay,
yeah, Ravens and Browns 8-11 for top 2 in the AFC North. Definitely said that one.
Yeah, like it, like that.
Right then, Jack, on to you for your best anti-post bet of the year.
I've gone for Calvin Ridley, most receiving yards. It's 9-1 on Paddy Power. Main reasons are no Julio Jones, so let's go a few targets. It'll be to Ridley as opposed to Jones. I know they drafted Kyle Pitts, but he's a tight end. I was following a few of the Miami Dolphins beat writers on Twitter, and they were saying that Ridley just destroyed Xavier Howard and Byron Jones when they're against each other in camp, and they were just raving about him, saying that he's one of the best wide receivers they've seen in a long time. So I think 9-1's pretty good bet, and I also expect the Falcons to do a lot of shootouts because the defense is not good at all.
Yeah.
No, that's I like that one at 9-1. Like you said, he's going to be getting the targets that Julio ain't getting, and a tight end as good as they are not going to get all the targets. You look at Tyreek Hill and Travis Kelce; they still end up getting a lot of yards when they split the receptions out. Right then, unless anything else has got anything to add on that, we'll move on.
No, all good.
Moving on then to your best handicap selection. So your pick on the handicap slate for any game tonight, Sunday, Monday. We'll start off with you, Tim. What are you going to go first, and who are you taking?
So yeah, I had to take a double take on this one because I couldn't believe that it was only 4 points. But Baltimore Ravens, I know they're travelling to Allegiant Stadium, and I know fans are going to be in there, but the Las Vegas Raiders are absolutely atrocious. And Baltimore are just going to run all over them, and I don't understand why it's only 4 points. Obviously, initially it was going to be obviously Tampa Bay, but again, my 9.5 is again too many points up now to kind of recommend it with. I know I've gone 13.5, but yeah, I just thought Baltimore -4. I know they haven't got J.K. Dobbins and whatnot, but the rest of that team, like, they're just built to smash teams, and I don't see how Las Vegas the Raiders are going to stop them. And the Ravens have a decent defense as well. And Derek Carr, I know he's got a great connection with Darren Waller, but they're just average. And the Baltimore Ravens, if you do power rankings or anything like that, Baltimore Ravens are going to be at least 10, 12, 15 spots higher than the Raiders. That doesn't equivalent. That's not equivalent to a 4 point
Swing.
Swing. Yeah.
No, like that one. To be fair, I can't say even had a look at that game. I don't like the Raiders and I don't like the Ravens, so it didn't really catch my eye at all. But at -4, come Sunday when I'm placing my ACCA, I'll probably stick in the Ravens -4.
That is the Monday night game.
Monday night game.
Oh, it's the Monday night game, right? Well,
yeah, it's the last one of the weekend.
Oh, right. So I didn't know that. Right then, Adam, we'll move on to you for your selection.
One that's gone up a little bit over the week, Denver -3 at the Giants. Basically has them as the same kind of level of team. The Denver defense is very good. Everyone seems to think it's one of the best in the league. The offense will be all right with Teddy B. Cortland Sutton looks like he's come back well. Jerry Jeudy will do well. Teddy won't give the ball over. That's what they really need. Whereas I think they will create turnovers on Daniel Jones. I think Javonte Williams is my boy this year. I did my little sleeper check the other day, where you can check how many players you've got, the players that you've got in each league, and Williams is straight to the top of my ones.
You got about 150% of leagues, haven't you?
Pretty much, yeah. Yeah, I think he's going to come on and start well this week, and I think he'll do well against the Giants, even though they do have a mildly decent defense. So yeah, I've gone for Denver -3. As I say, it was -2 early in the week, so going up to the key point is a little bit annoying, but I was still happy with it.
Adam, a bit off topic. Do you want to 10 a bet on who scores the most fantasy points? Melvin Gordon, Javonte Williams?
Yeah,
right,
easy.
Cool.
Yep.
Sorted.
Done. We'll get it in the D-Gens chat.
Yeah.
Right then, Jack, what's your selection on the best handicap for this weekend?
Mine is the Rams -7.5 against the Bears. I'd obviously rather it be 6.5, but I have to take 7.5. Basically, I just think the Rams' defensive line is going to destroy the Bears' offensive line the entire game. I would be surprised if the Bears don't even get to double digits, and Matt Stafford's first game, I expect him to put on a show. So -7.5, I'm more than happy to take it.
Yeah, I haven't really looked into that game. I think the Bears are going to be abysmal again this year. And I feel sorry for the fans that are going and have to watch Justin Fields sitting on the bench to watch Andy Dalton, who is a great guy,
Exactly,
but
yeah.
I think he's a bit past it at this point. So, I mean, we saw it last year in Dallas. I don't think any of you guys think he's going to show us all the surprise in Chicago this year.
No. He's only going to play 2 or 3 games. It's fine. Like, Fields will be enough to 3.
Yeah. I can see that. Right, then I'll move on to myself. I really like the 49ers at -7.5. I believe they still are against the Detroit Lions. I think the Detroit Lions are still a bad football team. And I think that Jared Goff will get flustered again by this excellent defence, and especially that front seven who's coming back healthy now after Nick Bosa and a few of us missed last year. So I think they can really put on some pressure on Jared Goff and force him to create the mistakes we've seen plenty of times in LA, which forced him to get traded. So I really like the -7.5. I think Garoppolo is going to try and bring a statement win into this one. There's been a lot of chatter, and he's been coming into interviews a bit cocky, thinking I'm the starter, this is my team. I think he sets out a statement here. I like him -7.5 at Detroit. Any more thoughts on the handicaps, or are we ready to move on to the totals?
Yeah, the Lions are not a very good team.
Yeah. you guys, obviously, I don't know what your betting habits are too much, but obviously 7.5s are just numbers that I refuse to do. Do you not prefer to like take 7 and buy the juice just on the off case as it's a funny game?
Yeah, there's obviously, you've got that impact of a key number, and I mean, key numbers, for those listening, if you don't know what are, it's your 51 points on your 27-24, whereas with 52, you're not as likely to get it being 27-25. The key scorelines in the NFL are your key numbers, 7 being the touchdown, 3 being the field goal. You always like to bite it beneath, but like you've done with Tampa Bay, Tim, I've bought them all the way up to -13.5.
Generally, like I say, San Francisco, a team I'd probably expect them to win like double digits. But as I say, just in case, just for anyone out there that's kind of doing an ACCA, like, just to kind of give yourself a bit of insurance, if you're doing 5 or 6 teams, you might as well just bite the bullet on the half point. And you get the void in. So.
Definitely, because if they lose by 7, if they win by 7, not only have I lost, you've lost as well. So it'll be disappointing for all of us. Right then, on to the best total points bet of the weekend, and I think a few of us are on the Miami and New England unders at 43.5 myself, Tim and Jack. Main reason for me for this is I think Tua didn't really light any eyes up. I think they're still going to be inconsistent on offense, and Mac Jones and the Patriots I think will run the ball, will run and run it down your throat 50-60 times. Chew the clock, Belichick old way. I can see it being 13-10 or something like this. Not a lot of offensive proficiency. I were happy to take the under, and I've bet a few under. I've gone down under 36.5. So I really do like the under on this one. I'm taking a bit of a chance on that one.
Yeah, the Damien Harris props were interesting. I think his over underline for rushing attempts was 13.5, or it's either 13.5 or 16.5. I can't remember what it is, but I think it's 13.5 because I was pummeled the over on that. And I thought his receiving yards over underline 3.5 was interesting. I know James White's there and he's the pass catcher, but like surely Damien Harris might catch one ball and it'll go for 4 yards.
You've got to think as well, and it's the rookie quarterback Mac Jones. There's going to be a lot of short passes and dump offs. So all it takes is you see how agile and how easy it is for these guys to juke and make defenders miss nowadays. I mean, I'm sat in my living room when I'm backing a team that's on defence and I'm thinking, how can you not tackle him? It's tackling a guy, and they're just so shifty and agile, and so all it takes is a 1 yard pass and him turning it into 9 or 10 yards, and then you're laughing, aren't you?
Yeah, and the other points as well, I'm sure the other person, was it Jack that picked it, but Ramondre Stevenson's got a thumb issue as well, so it might just limit his snaps a tiny little bit of giving more to Damien Harris. But yeah, like you say, I think two better defenses than they are offenses. Two is not, again, he's not a rookie quarterback, but he's not much better than that. And like I say, Mac Jones is not going to be doing too much, and Bill Belichick isn't stupid. He's just going to hand the ball off, like you say, 30-40 times, or if they can, it's just going to be a war in the trenches.
Jack, any thoughts on this?
Yeah, to be honest, 43.5. I couldn't believe it was that high. I just see Belichick. He's not going to put the game in Mac Jones' hands for the first game, for his debut. Like, Dolphins' very good defense. Patriots' defense is better than their offense as well. I could see 17-10 sort of game as well. So I'll be taking maybe under 36 as well, or maybe 35 if I get good value on it.
Yeah, like I said, I've already backed it. And the temptation to go down even lower is itching at me now. But I'm going to leave it for now and see what happens on Sunday. Adam, have you got any thoughts on this game? The only one who hasn't backed it.
I definitely wouldn't be backing the over, so I can't argue with you boys doing the under. No, obviously the Patriots defense are pretty much all returning. It's going to be completely different to last year. Apparently the Dolphins have got an elite defense, I was told in the week, so they should be able to keep it low against a rookie QB. So yeah, I can't see points anywhere there. But my one was Bengals v Vikings under 47.5. It's under 47 on red zone. The Bengals offense has been rusty, is probably the kindest way to say it. Jamar Chase obviously hasn't been catching anything. They weren't moving the ball in preseason. With Joe Burrow coming back, he only played 3 snaps. And he's going up against the Vikings defense, which is going to be a lot better than last year. It's improved. It can be much worse. The Bengals defense, though, has been a lot better in preseason, and I'm hoping with a return in injured players from last year, DJ Reader and Trey Wayne's the big signings, that they'll be able to slow the run. We brought in Trey Hendrickson, who should get some pressure up top. So I think the Vikings will go very run heavy. It'll be their typical Dalvin Cook and then a bit of play action. They might break off a couple, but I can see it being like 20 points to 10 or something similar to that. I just don't think it's going to be a very high-scoring game. I think it could be quite a sloppy, messy one.
Yeah, I've got nothing else to add on that if anyone else has.
Adam, would you be worried if they start putting the white stripes on the ball for Jamar Chase? Would you for the overs?
Just someone with a bit of chalk around it.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, you've got to help.
Right then, we will move on now to our best anytime touchdown scorer of week 1's games. Adam, we might as well start with you, considering we've just been talking about said player and we all know how much you love him, so I'll let you carry on from your unders bet.
Yeah, it all depends. T. Higgins, I don't know what price he's going to be. If he's around, I don't know, 1.5, 2.5, sorry. If he's around, 11 to 5, something like that, then I'd be happy with it. He probably won't be that high, though. So I've got a couple I wrote down. I've got Antonio Gibson. If he's above evens, I'll be happy to take him. And my guy Javonte Williams, but that's hoping that he's 3/4 to 1, which I don't think will happen. But yeah, I scribbled down a few. Like I say, T. Higgins, he will be. I think this game specifically, he'll probably get a lot of the ball. I think it'll be more of what we saw last year, with Chase getting a few targets, but it all depends on how he does on the day. That's the only issue with the Bengals, is they've got so many options there now on offense that you can't, without having a bit of a catalogue behind us, we don't really know where the ball's going to go. But T was brilliant last year, and if you can get mildly decent odds on him, then they can. But otherwise, evens-ish on Antonio Gibson for Washington, I'm quite happy with.
Yep, that's fine. Tim, we'll move on to yours. Your favourite.
Yeah, it's a bit frustrating really, because I don't like to make mine until I kind of see all the prices. And obviously, recording on Thursday, they've been a bit lackluster considering they've had 5 months to do it or however many. But I've gone with Raheem Mostert. I think I saw 4 to 5 flying about. So you probably get again similar to Antonio Gibson. If you can find evens on Raheem Mostert, San Francisco 49ers are just going to run all over Detroit. And yeah, Raheem Mostert. If Trey Sermon's like a Javonte Williams type, if he's like 3/4 to 1, I very much doubt he's not exactly gone under the radar, but again, they're just going to run all over Detroit. And again, I think there's a bit of value in Mostert because he, again, everyone's clamoring over the new shiny toy of Trey Sermon. So if you can get evens on Mostert, I'm all over that.
Yeah, I like that bet. I think I'll be back in both Sermon and Mostert again. And I'd even look, because the 49ers are brilliant for giving a third running back touchdown in any game, so that could be worth having a look at who the third running back is and what price he is, and always having a back, and the 2 or more markets as well, because like you said, I'm hoping this is a blowout. If it is, we could just see him fully running in. When the 49ers get in a fully running mode, they're hard to stop. They are hard to stop. Right, I'll go next. I'm going to take Deontay Johnson anytime touchdown for the Steelers against Buffalo. I can see this being not a bit of a shootout, but I can see the Steelers making it a bit competitive. And I think that Deontay Johnson is Roethlisberger's best target over Chase Claypool and Juju IMO. And he's the one who does seem, from what I've watched, to get more separation. I saw his receptions line was at 5.5. And I think, if I'm correct, I saw 11 to 5 for him to score a touchdown, which I really like that price. I mean, getting over 2 to 1 on a wide receiver who's going to be out there all the time, and he's the favourite target by the quarterback. I really like that one. Jack, on to yours for your anytime touchdown scorer.
I went with Robbie Anderson for the Carolina Panthers, and it's a revenge game for him against the Jets, and it's a revenge game for Sam Darnold. And Darnold and Anderson had very good chemistry when they were playing together at the Jets. So I think there's nothing more they'd like to do than score a touchdown between the two of them. It's 19-10 on Paddy Power. I'd be expecting to get maybe 5-2, 3-1 if I shop around, but not every bookie has their any times up yet for some reason. So hopefully maybe by tomorrow evening I'll be able to get like 3. So.
I think the Panthers will destroy the Jets as well. I really do.
Hope so.
Right then, swiftly moving on to our final bet of the evening, all of us each. We are looking at our favourite player prop. Obviously, not a lot of lines available at the moment. However, we're going to go with what we've got. I'll start off. I'm going to take Joe Mixon over 15.5 rush attempts. And I know you were speaking about, Adam, how it could be a bit of a big win for Minnesota. But I do think that Burrow is still saying he's legging 100%. And I think in the majority of the games last year, Mixon went over this because I backed it majority of weeks and won a lot of money. 15.5, you're getting it at 5-6. 1.83. I couldn't turn it down because I think they will run it just to make sure Burrow's feeling all right. And I do think they will keep it close. I think the defense, as you said, Adam, is good, and I think it'll keep them in the game. And I think the longer they're in the game, the more they'll keep running it. So I like Joe Mixon over 15.5 rushing attempts.
Yep, yeah, I'd agree with that. The only worry is that because they don't really have a third down back now, it might be a bit more P. Ryan getting the earlier downs. But I think you're right. They will try and just do simple handoffs to him, so we don't worry about anything else.
Yeah, Adam, we'll lead on with your play prop.
Who was that? Sorry, I don't know
you.
if you asked me. Mentioned him before, Antonio Gibson. Over 2.5 receptions is 11-10. Ron Rivera's talked about him being there. Christian McCaffrey. He obviously came on a lot last season during the season. The 2 preseason games he's played this year so far, he caught 2 and 2, and that would have been just the first quarter of those games. So I'm pretty confident in him getting at least 3 in this one and getting plus money on it, 11-10. I'm quite happy with. I did have a couple more scribbled down. TJ Hawkinson over 4.5 receptions, and Kyle Pitts over 3.5 receptions.
Yeah,
it was 10-13 on red zone. Obviously, you mentioned before about the Falcons having not much else.
Nice. Tim, we'll start with you, and then we'll finish with Jack.
Yeah, I think on the graphic I've got Marcus Callaway over 3.5 receptions for Saints against the Packers. Basically, this is bare as that Will Smith gif where he's in the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air house and there's no one else there with him. Traquan Smith is a bit dodgy, and they're having to rely on the likes of Juwan Johnson and Deontay Harris in the wide receivers. Jameis Winston's going to be the quarterback. The Green Bay Packers are going to smash New Orleans. So they're going to be throwing a lot. Alvin Kamara's probably going to get 99.5 receptions over under for his line, but it's got to go somewhere. And Marcus Callaway 3.5 receptions. His receiving yards line I think is late 40s as well, which is a tempter. But I'm just going to go off the fact that the receptions are easier to get in this kind of setup than maybe 48 yards. I mean I like over on both, but I had to pick one, so I've just gone over receptions on that one.
Love that bet. Has anyone seen a line on Kamara yet? What his receptions line is?
I can find out.
I didn't, to be honest. No, I'd imagine 6.5.
Yeah, if it's 6.5, I'm backing that. But while Tim's looking for that, Jack, we'll go on to your player prop bet.
I've gone for Kyle Pitts over 40.5 receiving yards with William Hill. Like Adam said, over 3.5 receptions is probably just as good a bet, but they're saying he's the best rookie tight end to come out of the league in about maybe 10 years. So 40.5 yards, I think it's well within his range. I was expecting to be around 60 maybe, so 40.5 will definitely be getting on that. Philadelphia as well, their defense is horrific, so it could be done in maybe 2 catches, never mind 3.5.
Yeah, fully agree. Did you get a line, Tim, before we finish off?
Yeah, red zone. Well, red zone only have 4.5 at the moment. That's 4-7, so I'd assume 5.5 is probably about
5.5 is very, very, very low. I think I'll be having a bit of that.
Yeah.
Right then. Thank you for listening. If you got this far again, listening to me and these bunch of degenerates talking and trying to win you some money. As always, we'll be joining you for all 18 weeks of the NFL season this year and the playoffs and Super Bowl. So please do subscribe if you're not to the podcast and to the Full 10 Yard YouTube channel, because we will hope to bring you a lot of winners across the year. The same 4 lads join together. bringing good insight. I do think it's good insight. Don't mean to be big-headed, but yeah, good insight to you guys. But once again, thank you to Tim, Adam, and Jack for joining me, and we'll catch you all next week for week 2's reviews. Good luck if you're betting this week. Take care and gamble.